All right, first Sixers podcast with the Sixers gang here, All Sports Philly and Trust the Love. Here we go. So how you guys doing?
Good, good.
Doing pretty well. How about you, man?
I am doing pretty great lately. Channel's doing all right. I just finished my finals, so that's freaking hype as
Yeah,
hell,
facts. That's lit. So did I.
You
dude. It was
channel's
so
booming,
nice.
bro.
Yeah,
Created
I'm
that pretty
trying.
recently. Yeah, it's nice. I like it a lot.
Appreciate it. All right, boys. Sixers have finished their preseason. We only got 2 games, unlike pretty much everyone else who got 3 or 4 because Adam Silver just hates us, I guess. I don't freaking know. But I don't know. I guess we can just go with like initial thoughts. What'd you guys think? Because I thought preseason was pretty freaking fantastic for us.
Do you want to? You
Yeah,
want to go
I
first?
thought it was pretty good. You could tell. I mean, the team was pretty raw. A little bit weird on the chemistry. There's certainly
Yeah.
potential. We always talk about like guys not being ready to play with each other. I feel like in years past, it's been more prominent than it is this year. I feel like you could see potential that this squad is going to work out.
Yeah, that's facts. It definitely looked some rusty some nights, especially against the Pacers. We had 26 turnovers, which even by the Sixers standards is kind of atrocious. But
That was
overall,
horrible.
besides the horrible rust, it was looking pretty good though.
Yeah, I also think kind of like what you guys were saying. I think a lot of what we saw had to do with the fact that a lot of these guys haven't played in multiple
True.
months, and it's been a
Mhm.
while since a lot of them have played. It's been a while since a lot of them have even touched a basketball, let alone played
Yeah,
organized basketball, 5-on-5, stuff like that. So I think a lot of what we saw with the Sixers, and really with every team, was just a lot of rust. And it was good to see that we went 2-0. There were obviously problems, but I mean, it is preseason, so you take everything with a grain of salt. But it was nice to see that they went 2-0. A lot of our guys played really well, so that was really encouraging to see.
One thing that stood
yeah.
out to me was defense. I love the defense. Danny
Yeah,
Green, giant on
facts.
defense.
Danny Green was fantastic on defense. He
Danny Green played
surprised
really
me.
well.
For sure.
Obviously, he
Definitely.
is he is literally like the stereotypical 3-and-D dude, but at his age, I just didn't expect him to look as good as he did. He was pretty nice. I like this defensive lineup. I was a little worried when we lost Josh Richardson. I was like, we're
Hmm.
gonna be Steph Curry and Danny Green instead of Jay Rich, but Danny Green, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, I think him mixed with some improvement from Tobias, like I didn't think he was that bad. On top of that,
Yeah, Tobias
pick and
played
roll
pretty well
defense.
defensively.
Pick and roll defense was what really stood out. We're not
Yeah.
getting killed in rolls. I think that was what was really good. I think that's all Coach
Mhm.
Rivers there.
Yeah,
And
I think
all
it's a
the other
mix of
coaches that we
Coach
added.
Rivers and the Pacers guy we got, Dan Burke, I believe,
Dan Burke,
because
yeah.
they asked him about Joel Embiid and pick and roll defense and stuff because the Pacers were such an elite defensive team last year, and he was saying that he is working with Embiid to have him step up a little more, be a little more aggressive on the pick and rolls,
Yeah, that's
which
good.
I
Brett
love
Brown
to
taught
hear.
Embiid to step back on pick and rolls,
Yeah,
which is kind of
and
weird.
it analytically, I kind of get it, but you just
Hmm.
can't do that against some players. There's
Yeah.
some dudes who are just
Some
gonna
play right,
kill you on
exactly.
that, and it just doesn't work. That's why you have every guard go for 50 points against us. It's just atrocious.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was bad. Harris was okay on defense. I think Harris is definitely fine as a power forward. Like he can kind of guard in the post a little bit. He can guard other power
Yeah, he
forwards.
can guard most NBA fours. Not really too many threes, but he can guard most power
Yeah,
forwards, which is nice.
he's
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 gonna hold his
decent enough
own, and that's
defensively.
how
Yeah,
it is.
definitely.
He's
Yeah,
gonna hold
that's
his
all you
own.
need.
When you got guys like Joel Embiid though around him, right next to him.
Yeah.
When you got
Mhm.
Danny Green right next to him, you should
His
be able
major
to make up
flaws will
for a
be
good
covered.
amount of that.
Yeah, because we're never going to need to put him on like LeBron James or Jason Tatum. We got Ben Simmons there for
Right.
that.
Right,
So, he
exactly.
just
That's a
needs to
great point.
guard the other forward.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Exactly.
hype. Although, honestly, Harris did disappoint me a little bit this preseason, specifically against Indiana with no Embiid. I was hoping for a little more than 6 points.
Yeah.
Again, what am I trying to say? Again, it's just preseason. It's just 2 games, short
Right.
training camp. I do really believe he's going to be a lot better under Doc Rivers.
I sure hope so. We need
I hope so too, dude.
a much
Yeah,
much more consistent Tobias Harris. He's not
we
a bad
really
player
do.
by any means. He's
No.
just really inconsistent.
Yeah, I keep what I always say is he's never going to equal that contract, but if he can at least get
No, never.
close to it, if he can just play exactly how he did on the Clippers, then he's perfect. Just a
Mhm.
very efficient player who can do a little bit of everything pretty well.
Right.
I think pick and rolls are going to help him a lot, though. I have loved seeing the Sixers run so many more pick and rolls in the preseason. It's been fantastic to watch.
Yeah. Another thing, what about Ben Simmons? Like, I know it's just preseason too.
He played
Especially when
really
Embiid was
well.
there, though. Like you said with Harris, I kind
He
of
looked
wanted
good
to see
playing with
more.
Embiid. I did want to see more from Simmons. I was a little disappointed against the Pacers, but then again, the bench was doing so well. Like, if we had lost to
Mhm.
the Pacers and Ben Simmons had his stat line, I would be much more annoyed with him. But because we won and the bench showed out, I'm just kind of like whatever with it. Because he is coming back from an injury. He's a little
Back
rusty, I
injury.
guess.
Yep.
He's getting used to the new system. What did you guys think about the 3-pointer he took?
I think it was very unexpected. He looked pretty confident shooting it. I wasn't expecting him to do it. I was I was waiting for it. I was like, "Wait, is he gonna shoot? I want him to shoot
Because he
really
did that
badly right now."
hesitation like
And
on
he
the
did
possession
shoot.
before.
Yeah, he did shoot.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I paused for a second. I said, "Wait a minute, did Ben Simmons shoot right now?" Because you're not expecting it. You're never
Yeah.
expecting it. And when it happens,
Yeah.
it's just really a surprise. But it was I would say it was good to see. I don't want to say it's encouraging because he shot before and then he hasn't. He's taken
Mm-hmm.
games in between where he just hasn't shot at all. So I don't want to
Yeah.
say it's encouraging. It's definitely nice to see.
I mean, there's no negative to it.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
how I look at
Definitely
it.
no
Yeah.
negative.
But at the same time, I'm not gonna get hyped up after one
Same. Yeah,
shot.
exactly.
There's really no reason to. We've been
Yeah.
getting excited for the past 3 years about
Yeah.
it.
I just want him to shoot consistently. That's it.
Yes. Consistency,
Yeah,
man.
I don't know. I think to be honest with you, I think he's kind of afraid of like the memes. Like I think he's afraid
Mhm.
of like he shoots one shot and Bleacher Reports put, oh my gosh, Ben Simmons is out here shooting
Yeah.
three. Like I think that he's
At this
afraid of
point,
that.
I don't even know what to think,
I
man.
think it's all
I
mental
I
for
don't know
him.
don't.
what
I
to
do.
think.
And honestly, I think this shot gave me practically nothing because I think this was a 3-pointer he literally took just to shut people up because it was not within the flow of the offense whatsoever.
Mhm.
The
I
dude's
think it
like a
was off a
foot back
rebound
from
or a missed shot, I
no, the
think.
dude dribbles up. He's like a foot back from the 3-point line. He's got a dude in his face, and there's time on the clock, and he just chucks it up. And like, yeah, it's nice
Mhm.
to see him shoot, but it wasn't with Ben Simmons. And I have no issue with him not shooting last game because I think he's going to get most of his open looks from Joel Embiid because Embiid's going
Yeah.
to get doubled and it's going to be Simmons' man. That's when I expect him to get those spot up
Yeah.
corner threes, or what I want to see from Ben Simmons this year, especially.
Those are the ones he has to shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
those
the
are
ones he
the
needs
ones
to
he's
shoot.
been
If he
taking
can
too.
just sit his ass in the corner when Joel Embiid's doing his thing and catch open 3-point shots there,
Mhm.
that's all we need him to do. He does not need to take
Mhm.
them off the dribble. And I know I sound like a hypocrite now because I and everyone else has been saying we want him to shoot forever, but like Ben Simmons does not need to start shooting threes, contested threes off the dribble. Like
Right.
he needs to spot up, and I would love to see Doc Rivers set him like make him a play to flash to the corner for a three with some pick and
Right, and
rolls and stuff.
like what you were saying, he's most of if not all of the threes that he's taken have been in either the left or right corner. In the
Yeah.
bubble, last season at the beginning of the season against the Cavs, or it was against the
Mm,
Knicks. No, it was against the Knicks.
yeah.
And in the bubble, most of the threes he's taken and made have been in the corner
Yeah, because
in one of the
he's
two
2 for
corners
2
on the
from the
court.
corner. Tiny sample size, but he
Right.
can shoot when he freaking tries. So yeah, the three didn't mean a whole lot to me. But the last couple games, man, the real highlight has been the bench, specifically
Mhm.
Maxey and Shake. But the bench
Mhm.
as a whole,
Facts.
man, we have never had, at least not while like
It's been
since
a
the
while.
process has started, we have not had this good of a bench. I was saying in my last
Mhm.
video, we kind of tricked ourselves into thinking last year we had a good bench, especially when we had Alec Burks in there. But like, this is definitely the best bench this team has had in a long time.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
100%.
I think what's kind of weird is in my opinion, there's 6 guys, assuming we have the same starting 5, there's 6 guys that can play off the bench. And to me, that's Shake, Korkmaz, Dwight Howard, Maxey, Mike Scott, and Matisse Thybulle. The question is, who's the odd man out? The discussion with me, especially after Maxey had a good preseason, is he still the odd man out? I don't know where he's going to find his minutes. We have Simmons at the at the 1. He could obviously play the 4 or the 3 or but Shake's not getting his minutes taken from by Maxey. Shake's been a bucket. He has no reason to get any cut in minutes. But where does Maxey get those minutes from? Is my question. And even if he's the one getting minutes, who's the odd man out? Who's not getting those minutes?
Yeah.
Part of me, as much as I'm a fan of this person / player, if I had to pick, unfortunately, if I had to pick one guy that Maxey would take minutes from, it would probably be Furkan. Even though, again, I'm a huge fan of Furkan. Yeah. I really like the way he plays when he plays well, honestly.
Korkmaz and Mike Scott are the same thing. It's just when they're hot, and when they're not, they're.
And I want to say Mike Scott too, but I don't know if if Maxey takes Mike Scott's minutes, we're not going to really have that 3, 4. What am I trying to say? Like stretch guy, like who can shoot and defend, like at the power forward / small forward spot. Like we wouldn't really have that. We would mostly just have 3 or 4 guards and Dwight Howard.
I don't know why they waived Dustin Anderson, man.
Oh yeah, why did they do that? We should have kept him.
Yeah, like even if he's not getting real minutes, like we don't have a super deep
he's not going to get a
right now.
Minutes,
it just seems,
but he's still a solid player.
But
yeah.
Oh well.
I think the thing with Furkan though, and when Doc took the job, he even mentioned Furkan. Like this is, I love this guy, and he loves Furkan. The fact that he's the first one off the bench with Hilton should tell you that he likes him. So I don't think realistically
probably not. So that's a great point actually.
I don't know if he's going to take Furkan's minutes, and I would want him to because Furkan is a liability in the playoffs. Why not just prepare for that?
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's going to happen.
He's also very much a guy who tends to make real dumb mistakes. I made this joke before. Furkan Korkmaz, someone, for the love of God, show this man the dimensions of the NBA court, because I swear he steps out of bounds every single game. I don't know if he's ever played a game where he didn't step out of bounds at least once. I swear it always happens. It definitely happened in both preseason games. Drives me nuts. Like he just does, he does some goofy stuff. I haven't seen any of his behind the back passes yet, but last season he would make those, and they're just slow as hell.
He has a nice little floater game, though.
He has a nice little floater game. He does.
I remember that game in the summer league. I don't know if you guys watched that. But that game was
like
insane. He dropped 40.
Oh, legendary.
I remember that.
Legendary.
But that was fun.
Yeah, just when he's hot, he's amazing. But it's just he's got to be more consistent.
Exactly. He can definitely be inconsistent, which really hurts his game and really hurts his Sixers that when those times come.
Yeah. And then I think the most slept-on player of the preseason off the bench has been Tony Bradley, because the dude has gotten very few minutes, but just when he's played, he's looked very solid. He gets rebounds. He goes for the lobs. He can play, good enough defense for a backup center. I think he's going to be real big for us in the games Joel Embiid inevitably misses because of rest or whatever.
Right. Or injury or whatever.
Yeah. So it's very nice to have 2 legit backup centers.
Yeah, definitely. And even that French dude that we signed, Vincent Poirier or whatever.
Poirier? Yeah, Poirier.
I'm surprised
he seems okay.
Surprised that he wasn't cut though.
Yeah, me too.
I think he has a guaranteed contract. I saw something about that, so that's maybe is the reason why.
Okay.
I wonder if he'll play for the Blue Coats, or is he not on a 2-way? Is he just an NBA?
I think it's that Matthias guy and then Paul Reed on 2-ways.
Okay.
I feel bad for Matthias because, I don't want to diss some random player I don't know about, but I would be happy to never see Matthias on the court in the Sixers uniform again.
Yeah.
This man,
I can agree more, honestly. No offense to this guy.
He's Raul Neto 0.2. He's this little 5'10" white dude who doesn't seem to really do anything. We don't need him. I'm sorry, Matthias, but have fun in the G League.
I'm sure he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Great guy to play in the G League with Paul Reed. I also had high,
though in his 3 minutes. I think he
in his
was
3
pretty good.
minutes. Yeah, we didn't
3
really
minutes.
see
I'm
anything
looking
Yeah,
at
from
I
him.
stats
didn't
right
even.
now.
I
I
wish
mean,
I
he's gonna
saw
be a
him
G League guy
play.
this year.
That's probably my fault, but
I don't know.
2 points,
You know,
1
maybe he
rebound.
becomes decent. I was
I
sad
think
we cut Kel,
the
but
thing with him is that he can't shoot. So you think
yeah,
of the NBA nowadays, pretty much every single four is a stretch four. You really don't
mhm,
get like a four that can't shoot. It's very rare. And
yeah.
he just doesn't really shoot. He's a nice
I mean,
defender. He might be able to guard, different positions, but he can't really shoot. So I
yeah.
don't know where that leads him to. I wish
yeah.
Isaiah Joe got the other two-way spot over that Matthews guy. I liked Isaiah Joe out of the
What
draft,
are we
but
doing with Isaiah Joe? Because he played in preseason.
so
He's
I
just
think
he's a
he
G League guy. He's a two-way guy, I
Okay.
believe.
I don't think so, dude.
Oh wait,
Are you
I
sure?
think
is he
I
2-way
think he has
guy?
a regular contract.
Really?
Really?
I think so.
Can
If
you
I'm not
make
Oh wait, I
like
think
mistaken,
a?
he did.
Aren't there certain regular contracts where they can still play in the G League though? Because
it
there's
might
no
have been
way
like
he
an
gets real
exhibit
minutes
10.
this year.
It might have been like an exhibit 10. I'm not
Yeah,
completely sure.
I
To
think it
look
was
it up.
something like that because I couldn't see any reason this dude would get a legit contract right away. I like Isaiah Joe a lot. I'm glad we drafted him, but I'm like this year at least, I think he's just a G League dude. Give him
Yeah,
some time
definitely.
to play against at least near NBA level talent instead of high school talent or
Yeah,
college
yeah.
talent.
And
Sorry.
in the I was expecting him to make a decent impact right off the bat, but I
Hmm.
mean he looked really, really raw in those preseason
He
games.
looked out of it, man.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for him, but he looked pretty out of it. He just looked kind of I don't know, like he didn't know what he was doing. I don't know how much he was in training camp, but he looked a little slow. Like the man needed to be cutting or something, getting himself some open threes because he was making it
He
clear he
looked a
wasn't going to be
little
like blowing past people.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but he looked raw. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Definitely need some experience.
Mm-hmm. Terrence
Liked how he kept
Ferguson was
shooting though.
interesting. I do like that he kept shooting. Terrence Ferguson was an interesting guy. I was hoping he would be something, but honestly, he looked like the worst player on the court when he got minutes yesterday, and his jump shot was the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like his fucking knees bent inwards, his arm was like back behind his head. It was just, it was not a good
Maybe
looking
too
jump
much
shot.
rust. You think that's too much rust? You think that's just how he is?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about him. I know he was known as more of like a
Uh,
defensive kind of hustle guy
yeah,
before. I don't think he's
he's
ever really
definitely
been a shooter.
longer. He's more of like a wing guy. Yeah, I don't think he's
Yeah,
really too much of a
like I knew
shooter. I
defense
think
was
he's
his
like
thing.
solid, but he's not like
Yeah.
he's. I know he's definitely average to below average. I know that he's
Mm-hmm.
more of a wing guy, not really a shooter type.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if we're gonna play a guy whose main thing is wing defense, we're gonna give those minutes to Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah,
Why
Yeah,
would you give them to Terrence
exactly.
Ross when you have
I mean,
Matisse
that's what I was
Thybulle?
saying. He has no business playing.
Mm-hmm.
He was nice 2 seasons ago for the Thunder. Started, I think,
mhm.
72 games. He
Yeah,
has
he
no
did.
business playing with this team. We have too many
Yeah.
wings.
At least not right now.
Yeah,
Unless if he's still here next year, maybe. But I don't
Yeah,
think he
we'll
has a
see.
place right
I
now,
think
to
he's
be honest.
expiring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean,
so
doesn't he also have like criminal charges against him? So
I think he
Wouldn't
does. Yeah,
surprise me.
I'm pretty
So
sure he
many players
does
have
for
all
like
these like charges
something.
against them and stuff.
Yeah. So not really a big loss with him. So it's whatever. He would have been nice, but like right now we do have a solid bench. I think Matisse will get some inconsistent minutes throughout the season. Doc said something about him that was along the lines of he really likes his defense. He knows he's an elite defender, but he came in late to training camp due to that ankle injury. So he's behind everyone else in the rotation right now, but he specified that Matisse Thybulle is by no means like locked out of the main rotation for the year because
Mhm.
he just hasn't gotten as much time as everyone else because he really likes his
Right.
defense, which is pretty much
Yeah.
how it is. He needs to become like a consistent shooter to get minutes
Mhm.
over like Maxi and Shake right now, or
Yeah.
even
I don't know if
Korkmaz.
I don't know if he ever will become. I mean, I guess consistent would be the word. I don't know that he'll
Yeah,
ever be a good shooter, but consistent would be. I mean, I don't know, NBA average, maybe like
yeah, because
35,
he did shoot like
30%.
35% last
35.
Yeah.
year.
If he can
He's got a
stay
nice looking
there,
shot.
yeah.
He's never gonna be Korkmaz, but he's if he
He'll
can
never
just
be
hit those
elite.
open threes,
Yeah. And
then I
even
Well, the
think he can
even
be
in
offense is
nice.
what's going
overall
to cement
offense,
him
I don't
as
know if he's ever gonna be the best on offense as a whole.
he
Yeah.
he has a clear There's ceiling to him, and
Yeah,
that's why I like Maxey a little bit more long term. Maxey's
definitely.
ceiling isn't
Oh,
really
definitely.
clear.
I would agree with that.
Thibault's ceiling is a decent 3-point shooter and a really good defender. Maxey,
And
though, I
Maxie's
mean,
4 years younger too.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah,
That's true.
Thibault's like Ben Simmons' age.
He's
Not
23,
like that.
24.
He
Yeah.
is. He's
And
like
he can't,
23 now.
but he's played 4 years in college at Washington. Some
Mhm.
people don't realize that his ceiling is a lot lower than a lot of people think because they think he's
Exactly.
like. I mean, he's young, but
Yeah.
he's not as young as a guy who has like unlimited potential.
And I would say shooting is definitely one of those things, especially that players really can improve on as they keep getting older, because we
Yeah.
see it all the time now where there are these players who've been in the league for like 10 years and then they start becoming good 3-point shooters to extend their careers.
Sure.
So I don't see any reason Matisse Thybulle can't become an average 3-point shooter and be just like a solid, like, hustle, defense guy off the bench.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's going to be the difference between him getting minutes on a championship caliber team. He needs that offense. He needs to be able to hit spot up threes. If he's just going to be the decent defender, maybe he gets minutes on our team last year, but you know, on a legit championship contender, you're not playing if you can't hit the open three at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just needs to be able to hit it. But I do believe in Thibault. I mean, I love him as a player. He's probably my second favorite player right now. But I do think he's going to be good enough to get consistent minutes at least by next year. Excuse me, at least by next year. Shake was balling out though. 6 man of the year odds down from 10,000 to 5,000.
Jake is such a baller. He's honestly
Legendary.
I can't I talk about him a lot, but I can never not talk about him. He went from being so under the radar, like he had some really nice games, and then he had that one game in March, and then
Against
people
the
were like, "Oh
Clippers?
wow, this kid's pretty good." Yeah, against the Clippers, and they
Yeah,
were like, "Wow, this kid's pretty good."
that's
And
the
then
real reason
the
Doc Rivers
bubble
came here.
game, he played really well, and now preseason he's playing really well. So if this carries on into the regular season, which I intend, like I predict that it will, obviously because of what's been going on with him throughout the past couple months. He's going to be a solid player for this team, solid player off the bench, maybe even start at some points depending on who's playing and who's not. And
Yeah, do
that'll
you
be
think he
great
should
to see.
start over like Seth Curry?
I
Because
don't
I've
think
seen a lot of people
I don't
say
think
that.
he should start. I don't think he should start. I think
agree.
him coming off the bench as a 6th or 7th man would be
Mhm.
perfect because number one, if Shake starts, like who's going to be our main spark off the bench in terms of getting a bucket? Like who's going to do that for us? I mean, okay, yeah, Seth Curry can, but I just feel like we need to have our starting lineup be the best possible. And I feel like with Seth Curry in the lineup, I mean, I know Shake is a shooter, but he can also facilitate a little bit. He's a combo kind of guy, like combo guard, like point guard, shooting guard, so he can facilitate a little bit. And I feel like Seth Curry is just a more pure shooter, which complements the starting lineup a lot better. So I just think starting Seth Curry is just a much better decision than starting Shake. And obviously nothing against either player, but I just think starting Seth Curry would be the much better decision.
100% agree. Especially because Doc is known for having these 6th-man scoring guards off the bench like Lou Williams and Crawford. So I think Shake makes perfect sense to fit into that role as our 6th-man. And I also think you're kind of taking away a little bit of his value if you start him, because he's not going to get the same shot opportunities if you're playing him next to Simmons, Embiid, and Harris all at the same time.
And he'll be forced to do more in the starting lineup.
Yeah, so I think he's much better as a scoring spark off the bench and let Seth Curry start and just be that pure spot-up shooter guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Shake's going to have I think a bigger role this year under Doc. You know, like Mike said, Doc has a good history with the 6 men, with the guys off the bench. Shake looked really, really confident in the preseason. I really liked it. You know, I think he's gotten a lot better on offense, on defense. I think he's going to be really, really good. I really do. I think he has a chance. He might already be, but I think he does have the chance to be the 3rd best player on the team after Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I think he can be better than Harris.
It's possible, but I really, really hope it doesn't get to the point where we can all confidently say that Shake Milton is better than Tobias Harris. That's a nightmare situation unless Shake just literally becomes a superstar.
Depending on how good Shake is.
Yeah, Harris is going to be... Harris and Simmons, in my opinion, are the big questions now this season because it looks like the bench is legit. We've got some legit shooters, legit defenders, like backup centers especially, and then we've got Shake Milton, who's a great like all-around guy and creator. We need the stars outside of Embiid to really step up because I really think at this
Yes,
point, as
definitely.
long as Embiid, like I really do blame Embiid's struggles last year, like 99% on the roster and how it did
Hmm.
not fit for
Oh,
him
at
at all.
100%, and especially Al
So
Horford. No offense to
yeah,
Al Horford.
yeah, I mean, Al
The fit
Horford,
was
great
awful.
guy, great player, terrible fit on this team. Elton Brand
Yeah.
just straight up made a mistake. Like, it was a
Yep.
terrible basketball mistake there, putting him on this team at power forward. So I think we need to see Ben Simmons and Harris be consistent. Simmons, I want to see him aggressive. Even if he doesn't
Yeah.
start
If
shooting,
he
I
if he
mean,
doesn't
obviously,
shoot,
I
I
want those
just want him to
shots.
be more aggressive to the rim
There's
and just
there
getting to the
is
line.
no reason Ben Simmons should not average like 8 free throws a game. None.
Oh no, 100%,
He's scared to go to the free throw line,
100%.
and I hate it, man.
Yeah.
Go foul between Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid alone. We should be fouling out like half the other team every single game. He needs to be getting to the line.
Hmm.
Ben Simmons needs to see that this front office wants to build around him.
They
Right.
do.
We are valuing Ben Simmons so high right now. We're valuing him like he can become a superstar.
The
He
Yeah,
needs
fact
to
that he's
see that.
even in conversation with James Harden in terms of
Yeah.
trade, I mean, that's
and
insane
we're
to think
turning
about.
it down. Yeah, because we believe in him. He's
Mm,
got to do it, man.
mm.
He's got to get out
And
of his own head. I
like the
think it's all
game that
mental.
he had yesterday is just not like it's just preseason. I know. I'm
I
just
know.
saying
But no,
if
I get
that's
it.
the type of games that he's going to be having, dude, like
It's
you're
not it.
missing out on something that everybody else is seeing.
Mm-hmm. Couple good
That's in
moments, but just
yourself.
overall, he's too passive.
mhm.
Even
I feel
Yeah,
people
like
and I
who
deep
mean,
down
criticize.
he can
ultimately,
dominate. He just
at some
needs.
point,
I don't know
at
what it
some
is.
point, it's like, is it even about shooting? Because there's times where he's just walking up to the 3-point line,
Mm-hmm.
kicking it to somebody, and then just sitting at the hat. Like
Yeah,
he's really like. There's times where the shooting isn't even a thing. Like
yeah. I
he's got to
really
be
think
aggressive
he's
in his own
just a
way.
head case.
Hit
He's a
those
pure
points
head
however you
case.
need to. Yeah,
That's all it is. He needs to get out of his own head. And at the end of the
Mhm.
day,
It's a
it's the
mental thing,
NBA, man.
exactly.
People are going to criticize you no matter what you do. But Sixers fans are going to freaking suck your dick for the next 10 years if you play the way that you should be playing, okay? Fuck what everyone else thinks. Go shoot the ball and go be aggressive every night.
Hmm.
No reason he shouldn't be the best player on this team. And I say that as someone who loves Joel Embiid a lot more than most people.
Hmm. But that's facts though, because
Mhm.
Ben Simmons. I mean, we saw a lot of examples of it last season, but even with Embiid, like without Embiid, we know how he plays. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, besides for last night, but even with Embiid, like we're all saying about how he can be aggressive and how he was aggressive, getting to the line and pushing the pace on offense and getting his shot. He can get whatever shot he wants.
For
He
real.
just needs to do it. We've seen him
He's got the
dominate
talent.
games. He can do that every single night. He just has to
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Yeah, he really needs to do it, man. He needs to just get out of his own head. I really personally believe Ben Simmons, if he lives up to all his potential, could be the third best player in the league for this decade, behind like Luka Doncic and Giannis. I really
Yeah.
think that's how high his ceiling is if he starts shooting consistently and he just gets out of his own head and he plays aggressive every night.
The
Yeah. I mean, I
consistent
hate to
jump
be the
shot
one to say this.
unlocks so much for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate to be the one to say this, but I think he's only going to reach that ceiling if Embiid's not on his team. Like, I think he can be a really, really good player with Embiid.
That
I
might
think
be
they can
true.
both coexist. I'm not saying that one of them needs to be traded, but I think
Mm-hmm.
both players are only going to reach their ceiling if the other one is gone, and the whole team is built around them.
Yeah, I could I could see that argument. Although I also think in the next couple years, just because of the billion injuries Embiid has had, I could see him having a shorter prime than the average player. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons could be a LeBron just because he's such a physical beast. He could be a
Right.
very much LeBron James type where he's still great 10 years from now, like he's still
Sure.
playing close to his peak. So I think if Embiid were to start taking a lesser role in the next like 4 or 5 years as he gets into his 30s, then there's no reason Ben Simmons can't still reach that point when he's when he's like 27 and Embiid starts taking more of a back seat.
Yeah, I think, and another thing, Simmons needs to shoot if he wants to be playing that long. You see a lot of guys. LeBron wasn't the best shooter younger. He kind of relied on athleticism a lot. Simmons at some point his athleticism is going to regress, and you're going to have to rely a little bit more on that shot. Brooke Lopez couldn't shoot. Now he's Splash Mountain. So guys adapt to the league. They adapt to their bodies, how they're regressing, how their bodies are at the current moment in time. Simmons is going to have to do that. We don't have to have that discussion now when he's 23, 24.
Yeah.
He just needs to focus on being the best he can possibly be. We all know how good he can be, how dominant he can be. And I think Kobe Bryant said this a couple of years ago. He's going to look back on his career once he's retired, once he can't dunk a basketball anymore, and he's going to be like, damn, I wish I did this. I wish I shot the basketball more. I wish I, was more aggressive. And at that point, it's all said and done, and you can't go back and change anything.
Yeah.
I think he needs to realize that.
Absolutely, because this can be a dynastic team if he does that.
Yeah. And that might be the separator between championship and not.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that a lot rides on Ben Simmons shooting or not only for his game, but like you guys just said, the whole team, the Sixers organization. I mean, that's a little maybe dramatic, but the team itself, the roster, the 15-man roster, Ben Simmons shooting has a huge impact in either direction on the team as a whole, in terms of how far they will go and what they will do and what they'll, how if they'll succeed or not.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Simmons was the real best fruit of the process. Joel Embiid was great. A lot of other guys we got have been great side pieces, but Ben Simmons was that first overall pick who is supposed to be guaranteed to be one of the very best players in the entire league. That's what he should be. That was the entire point of the process. So
6'10" point guard. 6'10" point guard that can handle the ball and pass with the best of them.
And he literally used to shoot.
One of the best defenders.
Not a lot.
He shot in high school, yeah.
And in summer league, in college sometimes, in high school.
That's what I'm saying. It's just mental,
stop?
I think.
I don't understand.
I do think he's going to shoot a little bit this season. I hope to see it. Whatever happens, I am really freaking excited for this season. It's looking like it's going to be pretty good so far. I like Doc Rivers a lot.
Yeah. Excited to see how it goes against real NBA, opponents. The Pacers aren't the best team, obviously.
I don't want to get my hopes too high, but I am very excited for the Sixers this season.
I agree. I think it's definitely too soon to say that they're the best team in the East or anything.
Right.
But
I don't want to put a ceiling on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do that, but I don't see any reason that they can't make the finals. I would say. I definitely think
I feel like it's
possible.
That or bust. Seriously.
Maybe it's hard to say. I would like to say that it's not, that if we give a good fight against a really good team, then it would be enough. But people criticize us for failing in 2019 when we lost to a buzzer beater to the team that won the championship. So, in some people's mind, every season is championship or bust for every team, really. So, I don't know. The Eastern Conference Finals would be very nice, just because people will not get off Sixers fans' ass for, you haven't made it to the second round with Ben and Joel. They're not going to work together.
That's a great point.
I would be happy with the Eastern Conference Finals exit.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be happy with it, but I would, I'd like it more than the second round exit, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get out of the second round. The second round, dude, we need to show progress.
Yeah.
And maybe you look, if you can't get out of the second or first round, maybe you look to trade one of the two. We'll see how it goes statistically with the two, how each of them do. Looking at the advanced advanced analytics, Maury's into all of that. Advanced analytics, with them on the court, with different players on the court alongside them. Look at all that. But it needs to be this season is is very telling for the Sixers in the direction that they could go in. And, I say that every year with almost every Philly sports team, but, definitely need to see something this year. We
Yeah,
can't have the
I'd
same
agree with
Ben
that.
Simmons we've been seeing for the past 3 years. We can't have the same, round exit that we've had. Can't see the same Tobias Harris. Need progress, honestly.
Yeah, all summer I've been
Yeah, that's
saying
a great
it's too
point.
early to trade them. We haven't seen them with a good head coach in their careers. We haven't seen them since Ben Simmons' rookie season with actual spacing around them. So this is it. This is the chance that we have all been waiting for them to have together. So if they don't look good this season, that is when you start to consider trading one of them, I think.
I'm gonna say
The
any better.
environment around them is ideal for Ben and Joel. I mean, in terms of their game and
Yeah,
to maximize
you're
their
not going to get better
games.
than
The
this.
environment, right? The environment right now is like you just said. You really can't get better than this in terms of pieces around the two to maximize their games.
Yeah. You got two elite 3-point shooters in the starting lineup, and Tobias Harris, who is supposed to be an above average 3-point shooter if he gets his shit together, and then you got a whole bunch of shooters off the bench. Like that's what these guys are supposed to have. Let's see them play well together, and I think they will. I think they're gonna get it figured out this season. I think the start of the year is going to be rusty. I keep having to tell everyone, and even myself to an extent, I keep having to really tell myself that the start of the year is probably not going to look great. We're probably not going to start like 8-0 this year like we were last year. It's gonna
It's
look
going to be an
real
up and down
sus at
year for
times,
everyone.
but I think by the playoffs, this team's going to be looking really good. I could definitely see us making like a late season run of like a whole lot of wins.
Like it. I think there were some chemistry issues, some small ones in the the preseason games.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it earlier. Nothing that can't be fixed. I definitely saw potential. Some good ball movement. Some good pick and rolls.
Right.
Really like what I saw. I like the lobs.
handoffs.
I like the lobs to Dwight Howard a lot.
Oh, I love that. It's so nice to
shaking.
have a dude like that off the bench who gets lobs.
I haven't seen a lob in I can't
In
remember
so
the last time I
long.
saw a lob to a Sixer.
No,
He's
and
like
Howard
he
and
catches
Bradley
lobs,
both get
but
them.
he's like fat, bro. He's not really athletic. I mean, he's athletic, but not really the lob threat type.
I mean, our bench the last couple years, center wise, has been like Boban and
Amir Johnson.
Amir Johnson.
Kyle
Who's the dude?
O'Quinn, not really the
Kyle
athletic
O'Quinn. Oh my goodness, who's the dude we
center
had against
type.
the Raptors who had one great game and we all thought we're like,
Monroe.
Oh, Greg Monroe. Yeah.
Greg Monroe. That's it. I remember like
Dude,
it was like game 1 or 2,
yeah.
and he played fantastic. And then everyone was like, "Oh, Greg Monroe is a legit
Greg
backup center,"
Monroe.
and then he just
That's
sucked
crazy.
butt the rest of the playoffs, and it was like, "Oh, no, he's not good." It's nice to have Dwight Howard though.
Talk
Mike Scott looked pretty good.
about the small ball. What about Mike Scott at the 5? We kind of did that a couple seasons ago.
We did that. I think
he did it pretty good.
I think if we run a small ball lineup with Embiid out, it'd probably be Simmons at the 5. Simmons or Harris make the most sense to me. Although Scott can definitely do it too.
Simmons or Scott.
Harris at the center. That would be atrocious.
He did it a little bit last year, though, I believe.
Yeah.
Which didn't make any sense with Brett Brown because we got freaking Al Horford and Joel Embiid. I think it was games that one of those guys missed. He ran some Tobias Harris center because he can actually. He's a better post defender in my opinion than he is a perimeter defender. He's pretty solid in the post.
It would make sense because he's not the quickest guy.
Yeah.
Laterally and just in general, so that would make sense that he's a better post defender than he is a perimeter defender.
So we'll just have to wait and see. I think Simmons can definitely, especially in the modern NBA where a lot of the fives are getting smaller. Ben Simmons can definitely play center against like backup centers, as long as it's not like Boban.
Well, Boban was a liability in terms of centers
he really
who could shoot.
Was.
Marcus Hall, Lopez, like those guys would have just sit on the 3-point line and draw Boban out. He comes out, blow by him. I think I like Dwight Howard a lot. I'm not sure if he's great on I don't really know too much about how he is on the perimeter. I know Al Horford was kind of hyped up to be the all-around defender.
He just aged like 5 years.
He kind of regressed a little bit.
Of course, when he comes here, he just turns into like grandma.
Honestly.
Welcome to Philly, bro.
I think Dwight will be okay as far as legit centers go on the perimeter, just because he is
He's a
dude
great
who's
NBA.
he's in such great shape. So I think that's gonna help him not get like murdered as much as like a guy like Boban would.
Mm-hmm.
If he can have the exact same season he had with the Lakers, I'd be
That's
thrilled.
perfect. I can't believe we
And
got
on
him on
that
a minimum.
Yeah, it's crazy how we got
Can't
him
believe it.
on a very cheap contract. You'd think he would have wanted more money from another team.
Yeah,
Because Daryl
I did
Morey is
too.
a
And I
freaking
don't know why he
god.
didn't stay with the Lakers if he was just going to get a minimum. Why wouldn't he just stay with the Lakers?
Apparently,
On
they
the
didn't
minimum.
offer him one. They did not offer him another contract.
Oh, well, that kind
That's
of
what
makes
he
sense since they
said.
got Gasol and Harrell.
Yeah, because
Forgot about that.
that does make sense with that, because I didn't understand it either. That made me concerned at first, because I was like, why wouldn't they want him back? Because that was the whole
Yeah.
deal with the tweet. He said he expected to hear something from the Lakers, and then they just never sent him anything. And then Daryl Morey swooped in and asked him to come to Philly. Is exactly what happened. So
Okay.
yeah, I guess if they were getting Gasol and Harrell, that actually makes a lot of sense why they wouldn't need Dwight Howard back.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, works out for us. I'm hyped for this season, boys. I'm real hyped. Can't wait to see us play the Wizards. It's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I feel like, a little over 40 minutes. This has been a pretty good place. Do you guys got anything else you want to go over before we wrap up?
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything. I
So-
want to talk a little bit more about just Maxey in general.
I'm good with that.
Very, very interesting to me. I think, watching him out there, he's not going against the greatest of competition. So that's one.
That
He
is the
might
one
be a
thing. He's
little
playing
bit
against
He might
He does
be
preseason
look really
benches.
confident though.
I like his mindset a lot. I like his skill set,
Yeah, he looks really
his attitude.
Yeah,
That's what
I
you
think
get
he'd
out of
get
the
along with
Kentucky
Jimmy
guys.
Butler.
Get a lot of that out of the big school guys. The Kentuckys, the Dukes. That's what you're getting in a guy like that.
Yeah.
But
Especially
the
Kentucky.
biggest question: where does he play, man? Whose minutes does he take? And is he going to be good enough going against real NBA competition? I like him a lot. Is he the best fit? I don't know. Next to like a Simmons, I don't know. I think he would be like almost like you said, the Jimmy Butler role with Embiid.
Yeah.
But then you got Shake.
He's definitely a shot creator. He's not. See, the difference, I feel like the difference between him and Shake is that Shake is more of a shooting shot creator, whereas Maxey is just a shot creator who isn't
Yeah,
really
he
too much of a
drives.
shooter, but he's a better.
That's how I
better
view
getting to
him
the
and
rim.
Tyler Hero. Hero's kind of like the shooter guy coming off screen shooting. Maxey's more inside layups, crafty, nice finisher. I'm really excited to see what he can do.
People.
How Doc utilizes him.
Yeah.
Excited.
I'd love to see him shoot, but right now, Maxey, I saw somebody say this comparison. Maxey is kind of like a poor man's what Markelle Fultz was supposed to be without the shooting. Like what everyone hoped Markelle Fultz would be, even like coming back from his shoulder injury. Like even if he didn't shoot, like this is basically what he should have been. A good a guy with a high defensive ceiling, a guy who's just really fast and athletic, who just gets to the basket and scores really easily, play make a little bit, kind of do a little bit of everything as a guard. It's a very nice player to have on the team.
I remember the day Fultz got drafted. I remember that day vividly. I was so excited because we got the #1 pick and we got Fultz.
God,
And here we are.
Got Tatum.
I don't like those guys from the Pac-12, man. Thibault was kind of a gem, but Pac-12 guys, I usually like to stay east of the center of Texas is my line for both basketball and football.
Mm-hmm.
Is Kansas east of the center of Texas? I'm not that good at geography.
Let me take a look. Kansas isn't bad.
I mean, that's where we got Embiid. Kentucky's just always a solid place, though.
Yeah.
Like that seems to just be, if there's a school for like just pure, consistently like good NBA players coming into the league, it seems to be Kentucky. I would say.
Yeah,
they're just always straight.
Yeah, Kansas is east of the middle of east of the center of Texas for both basketball and football. Kentucky, though, dude, Kentucky's been producing some dogs lately.
Yep.
And you just look at the bubble. Hero, Shea wasn't really
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, yeah, man, and especially at the guard position.
Mhm.
A lot of those combo
Yeah.
cards.
Weren't
Facts.
Wall and
Wall and
DeMarcus Cousins
Mhm.
at Kentucky together?
Bogey.
I'm
We're on
really
the same
excited for
team
Wall.
in college. Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
off topic.
What do you say?
I said I'm really excited for Wall and Cousins this season, even though that's kind of off topic.
I'm interested to see them. I'm curious to see what the Rockets do. I'd be shocked if James Harden is not traded by the end of December, honestly. I'm any day
You
now
think so?
I'm waiting for the trade to go through.
Mhm.
I don't know,
Specifically to
man.
the Heat
That's
is what
another
I
thing we
think.
haven't talked about, which is crazy. It's taking this long to talk about James Harden.
Mhm.
I don't
Honestly.
know, man. I don't know if the Rockets are going to find a
I
deal
don't
that
think
they like.
Yeah, I don't think
I
they're
don't
going to
think
get a
he's
deal
going to get
done.
traded anytime soon, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe they wait till the
think
trade deadline. Because I don't see any way he stays past the trade deadline. Because I think at this point, James Harden has made it very clear he wants out and he's not resigning. Because if he turned down that
Right.
$50 million a year extension, like he's not going to stay there. John Wall's not going to change
Right.
his mind. You know,
Right.
You're
Christian
100%
Wood and
right.
DeMarcus Cousins, they're not going to change his mind. He wants
Right.
to go somewhere else. He can be like a true contender, and he's just not on the Rockets right now.
Of where does he hold out? Is he going to hold out? Is he going to create a lot of drama? You know, because at that
You
point, the
just have to
Rockets are
wait
going to
and
have to
see.
cave and then just take the best package available. Right now, they're trying to get a Kyrie, get a Ben Simmons plus more.
I can't believe that I find it so hard to believe that rumor was true. They wanted Ben Simmons and 3 first-round picks. Like,
Here's my thing.
what?
If we give up Ben Simmons, there's absolutely no guarantee that James Harden re-signs with us.
No,
So
there's
we're getting
not.
You got
getting a
this year and
2-year
next year.
possible rental for Ben Simmons, which
True.
is just
Terrible.
just horrible.
And people act
People
like it's a
overlook that.
guaranteed
Why?
championship. It's not. With the
Right.
Lakers
It's
right
not a
now,
guarantee.
that is
Harden
not a
is very
guaranteed
unproven in terms of
championship.
winning championship.
And also,
Right.
I hate to say it, but Embiid is injury prone too. What if James Harden comes here
Yeah.
and then Embiid gets hurt? Like, you know,
We're
and then he
not
just
we're
leaves.
not a top 3 team in the East if that happens.
Hell no.
I wouldn't even, well, I mean, maybe top 5, but I wouldn't. No, there's no way we're top 3.
Nah.
What if we traded Simmons for Harden, and like, where do we rank in the East if we get Harden and we trade Simmons?
I don't know.
We parallel? Are we a little bit better?
I
One
think
seed
we might
better?
be a
it's
little bit
slightly
better.
just because of the
Agree.
Simmons. I would say right now Harden is still definitely better than Ben Simmons, and he is a
Oh
better
yeah,
fit with
definitely.
Joel Embiid. So
Yeah.
I would say yes, we do get better this year. I would probably say we're the best team in the East, honestly. I think Harden and Embiid is
Debatably.
the best duo in the
Debatable
East.
for sure.
It's definitely
I
debatable,
think
but I would say that is the best duo in the East, depending on how
Mhm.
high you are in KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
So
I would say it has to be them. I'd say it has to
I
be
might go Kyrie and KD just because of who we know that those two guys
yeah,
are.
Kevin Durant has looked damn good in the
Yeah.
bubble so far or the preseason
Yeah.
so far. I still need to see him in the regular season to confidently
Oh, definitely.
say that he's still like a legit like arguably like top 5 player in the league because I really didn't believe he was going to come back at 100% just because it's the Achilles, you know? The Achilles
Right.
injury is a bitch. But
What
he
do you guys think
looked
about?
really good last night.
Yeah, I mean, now what do you guys think about like a package like, say the Rockets were to cave on the best deal available?
Mm.
What about a package like Harris, Maxey, Thibault, and 3 first-round picks? What about something like that?
Mhm.
I
That is a
would
lot of our
give them
depth.
that.
We'd probably
I don't
do
know
it.
if they would take that because I feel
Mhm.
like that's really like Maxi's the only
That would
guy
be
in
later
that
on
who's like
down
a
the road.
future star. It
Yeah.
depends on what they want to do. I don't think they would take that over like what the Nets could offer with like Karis LeVert and Jared Allen and all their
Yeah.
picks. I would take that though. I
Maybe
mean,
they
I
trade
find
him
it
to
hard to
us
see
though because
us.
they don't think we're as legit as the Nets.
Maybe. I don't know.
The
I
thing
find it
is,
hard to see us not winning a title with James Harden, with Simmons and Embiid. That's just so much talent.
Mhm.
I don't think I would even do that other deal. I definitely want to see this team play first.
Yeah, I want to see him play first.
So I don't think the Harden trade would happen now either. You know, regardless of who
No,
we're
at this
giving
point,
up.
I don't think it's happening. Like, not to Philly anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get him. At least, like you guys just said, but at least not now.
I think he's going to
Possibly
the Heat.
the Heat.
It's a hot take. I don't know if they're really reluctant to trade Tyler Hero.
I don't
They
know.
are.
And even if they trade Hero, is that what else would they offer? Because there's no way they give up Bam. I would not give up Bam for Harden. So
No,
it's
that
like, are
wouldn't
you
make
going to give him
sense.
Hero,
The rumors I've
Robinson?
seen is that the Rockets want Hero and Robinson, and they refuse to give them Robinson with Hero. Or
I would do
yeah.
that. Hero and Robinson easily.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna be
there are a
part of that
lot of Heat
offense.
fans saying they don't want
Easily.
James Harden, but man, what a perfect fit right
No,
there.
Tyler
Harden,
Hero,
Jimmy, and Bam
easily.
Adebayo, legendary big three right there. I can't see that team not making the finals.
Yeah,
So
dude.
I
I
think
mean,
that's just foolishness.
They'd win the East 100%.
Yeah,
That's all.
I don't
That
know
is
if I want
certain.
to sell 3 firsts, like a big, say it's Maxi and say it's Thibault / Shake, or say it's Maxi / Shake and Thibault plus Harris. I don't really care about
yeah,
Harris at that. You're selling a big part of your future for one
yeah.
player who's unproven in playing winning basketball. He's
Mhm.
played ISO ball, hasn't really played with any other. I mean, he hasn't played well necessarily with any other superstar, star players, Westbrook, Chris
Yeah.
Paul. He's just very
I mean, he
unproven.
won an MVP
If it
with
was a
Chris
guy
Paul.
like KD, if it was a guy like Curry, I can see it. And you wanted to match, say, Curry with Embiid.
Curry, I would trade for
probably
Ben
do
Simmons in a heartbeat. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would.
Like Steph Curry is too good. That's one of the main players. There's probably
Oh, I'm
three
saying Steph
players
Curry.
who
If
I
we were
would.
to trade for like Steph Curry, like that
Yeah,
type of superstar.
Steph
Yeah.
Curry, Luka, and Dame are probably the three players in the league who I would not have an issue giving them Ben Simmons for. Who I would like
And then
not have any
Luka would
qualms
be the
about
guy
that.
for me. Luka would be the only guy for me. Luka.
Oh, Luka would be. Luka,
I'm
we'd probably
higher
have
on
to give them some
Simmons
picks
long
with him.
term than Embiid.
Well, Luka, yeah, I think Luka's going to be the best player in the league this decade. So that's
Yeah, I do
definitely
too.
not a question. So also that would make
But
perfect
John
sense
Morant,
for Simmons too, because John Morant for Ben Simmons.
John Moran?
it's never going to happen. I'm just throwing it out
I would
there.
not. I would
No,
never do that.
John
Wouldn't do it.
Morant, I don't think is ever going to
I
be a
would not.
superstar. Although he is a very
No,
good player, I just
I think
don't
he's going
know
to be
if
real good.
he's going to be
I think
real
he's
He's going
good.
to be real
I
good.
don't know if
What about
his
Trae Young?
ceiling takes him past like top 15 though. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like I just
Yeah, I
don't.
do.
I need to
get
see
it,
more
yeah.
of him too. To be fair, we've only seen his rookie
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Trae Young though?
What
Trae
about?
Young, I would not trade because his defense is
I would not
I wouldn't
disgustingly bad.
either.
He's the
I,
For
worst
Ben
I'd be
Simmons.
higher on
Yeah,
Morant
I would
than
not
Young,
do that.
honestly.
Yeah, I would not say that. I am definitely higher on Trae Young, but the dude just like for Ben Simmons, no, because he's just so god awful defensively, and also
Yeah.
he seems like I don't know, he seems kind of whiny. Like there was something last year where like early in the season they lost like 8 straight games, then he like freaked out in the locker room on about like how he hates losing and he doesn't want to do this anymore and be losing. And he was like being really dramatic
I
about
don't
it.
remember
And
that.
it's like, buddy, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but John Collins is out because he's a dumbass who did drugs, and you're not helping the team that much when you don't
Yeah.
play any defense.
Yeah.
Like,
When you
get over yourself a little
take
bit.
possessions off on defense, I mean, you're not really
Yeah.
really doing much to help the team.
He's a traffic cone.
Mm-hmm.
I could play better defense than Trae Young. I swear to God. Just
Seriously.
stand there and hold my arms out for Pete's sake. Yeah, I would not trade him for Ben Simmons. No way.
Yeah. I to be honest with you, I'm not very high on Harden. It's a superstar that's out there to be traded, which is always exciting, which is always interesting.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're on his list is very interesting, intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. He's very unproven and playing winning basketball, like I mentioned.
He's not known as a good chemistry guy either. Like,
No,
there's a lot of rumors
exactly.
about
Not at
guys
all.
that you can say it's BS, but when you've got Chris Paul didn't want to play with him, Austin Rivers and who's that other
Russell
guy?
Westbrook
Trevor
didn't wanna
Ariza
play
have
with
both said they didn't
Chris
want to play
Paul
with him.
didn't want to play
Like,
with
there's
him.
just so many rumors about James Harden being a
All
pain in the
these-
butt in the locker room.
Yeah.
And it's just,
All
at some
these
point,
guys
the
can't
common
be the
denominator is
reason.
James Harden.
Yeah, exactly. You would understand that. I get heat for saying I don't want James Harden because he seems like he's a bad teammate. He seems like he sort of not ruins chemistry, but he hurts teams' chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
it's
way
like,
he
it's James
plays,
Harden.
I don't have
I
an
know
issue
it's
with.
James
The way
Harden,
he
but still,
plays, I blame
right.
on Mike D'Antoni.
He's still one
But
of the
him
best
as a
offensive
person,
players of all time.
and
Agreed,
yeah,
Mike.
but
But
this is
he
making
just
it worse
attitude.
too. Look at him being a big baby right now, going to the strip club and not coming to practice with the rest of his team. There's a grown ass man here throwing a tantrum. Like,
he's had his way with that franchise for 8 years.
for
It's like,
real,
you really have to
he has
complain.
no
I mean,
right
obviously he wants
to
to
be
create
salty.
drama, so his trade value tanks and the Rockets trade him. But
Yeah.
I get that. I get the business side to everything. But I just don't. And again, it ultimately comes back to he's very unproven playing winning basketball, and he's created chemistry issues. It's simple as that.
Yep.
I don't know if I want that.
Facts.
I mean, they could have won a title if he didn't contribute to missing 27 straight threes in 2018. You know, you choked, man. Sorry, Chris Paul got hurt, but you still choked those 2 games.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I don't really want James Harden. But I am excited to see him traded, although I'm terrified of him getting traded anywhere in the East. But I'm still kind of excited to see it.
He's coming to the East, dude. It's
yeah,
inevitable.
I can't see him going anywhere. The only team that I could really see him getting traded to in the West would be the Warriors.
Oh, Warriors? Oh.
I really think you give them like Klay Thompson and James Wiseman.
Yeah, but will they want Klay Thompson now, though?
I don't. Well, I mean, he's injured for a year. It's weird because now that they got John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, I don't think they're tanking this season. Because originally they traded Robert Covington, and I was like, oh, they're going to tank. I don't think they're making the playoffs. Not once they trade James Harden. Not in the West. The West is brutal this year. They're going to have a lot of chemistry things. They're going to have a bunch of other players coming in when they trade for him. It's just going to be a mess. I don't think they're making the playoffs. I got the Suns as like the 8th seed. Like maybe they could.
If Harden's traded, they're not making playoffs.
Yeah.
If he's not traded, then maybe.
Yeah.
If he's not traded, I think they could do it.
It's not a guarantee, but I would say that they will.
If he's traded, then I don't think so. I think if they trade Harden, I think the Warriors and the Suns will slip into the playoffs. I think the Pelicans will be right there, but I don't think they'll make it.
Yeah,
dude,
I don't believe in the Pelicans. Right now, I've got the Warriors and the Suns coming in, the Thunder and the Rockets coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be interesting.
I saw somebody push the Jazz out of the playoffs in their ranking. I've seen multiple people actually have the Jazz at like number 9 in the West.
No way. There's no way.
What? Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Although I think that if the Nets don't get James Harden, and I did a video on this, shameless plug, I think that a fantastic trade would be for them to send Rudy Gobert to the Nets and get Karis LeVert and Jared Allen back. I think that's great for both sides.
I think that'd be good for the Jazz. I don't know. I get your reasoning behind, you eliminate a ball handler in LeVert. But if you're the Nets, do you give up LeVert and Jared Allen for a rental? Because you don't want to pay Rudy Gobert.
Well, if you trade him, he's no longer for the Supermax.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't get a Supermax if you're not on the team.
You can't get a Supermax, but you can give him a 4-year deal worth like 30-something mil a year, which is
I think Rudy Gobert, the man's won 2 Defensive Players of the Year. So I would say he's worth a max contract.
Somebody's gonna have to pay him, and if I'm any NBA team, if I'm the one making the decisions, I don't want to be the one to pay him.
I'm not paying Gobert
because I think any of his weaknesses that would be like shooting are really negated when you're playing with KD and Kyrie Irving, who are 2 of the best shooters in the league. So I think
he doesn't have. He's not there to score the ball, but I'm just saying, is he really like? I don't know, and especially when you have other contracts like that, I feel like he'll be a guy that goes to like a small market team and just gets the bag.
Yeah, maybe. And then maybe he goes to the Mavs. They're gonna have cap space. That would be
maybe the Mavs, maybe the Hornets. I'm thinking the Mavs wouldn't be terrible, to be honest. But the Hornets, I think the Hornets
would make the playoffs.
Now they signed.
They got a better center. They were trying to get Miles Turner. Was the rumors they wanted Miles Turner for like I don't know. I've seen a lot of trade rumors for like Miles Turner to them for like Miles Bridges and somebody else like Terry Rozier.
Yeah, I think
that would be great.
They got a Vernon Carey who's really nothing crazy, but and they got Nick Richards from Kentucky in the draft. Both of them are 2nd-round picks, so
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. Evan Mobley, I think, is in this draft. Depending on where they land, who do you think the worst team in the league is going to be?
Knicks
or Pistons.
Pistons. Yeah.
Pistons.
Although I really do like Obi Toppin on the Knicks.
The Cavs were down like literally 50 points to the Knicks yesterday in the third quarter.
Yeah.
50 points.
The
How?
Cavs are just I don't even.
But they have a
I
lot
don't
of
even
potential,
know.
though. They have a lot of young players who could get better.
That's
So I
true.
don't think they're going to
Garland,
be as bad as the
Sexton, they
Knicks or
got
Pistons.
Okoro.
Okoro's been nice.
Okoro's a beast.
Okoro's
Yeah.
What do you think
underrated,
about
man.
Rookie of the Year? Because I think Rookie of the Year, there's really no clear favorite right now.
I think at this
Oh,
point it's
no.
looking like it's going to be LaMelo.
LaMelo?
He's got the narrative
I
on
think
his
LaMelo.
side. The media does nothing but suck his dick all day long, and he has
True.
had some pretty nice games. Even if his first game was stupid and he did nothing that impressive in
You
it,
could tell
his
he has
last
a
game
really
he was
solid
great.
IQ and feel for the
Yeah,
game.
he's a good passer.
Yeah.
He had like 18 points with like 4 3-pointers in like his last
Yeah.
game. So
And
he's
he's
going
an
to be
okay
nice.
shooter. He's not like a sniper or anything like that, but he's an okay shooter. So
Yeah.
he'll do pretty well on the offensive end, but mostly
He reminds me a lot of a Trae Young.
Yeah.
You know, not
Yeah,
great on
very
defense,
much.
inefficient from three. At least
However,
in the
he
NBA. Young was
can
good
be
in
a better
college, but
defender than Trae Young because of his length and his
he
height.
definitely has more
He's
defensive
6'8".
potential than Young.
100%. And I think he's also similar to Trae Young, where they're both very great passers, but they also really get ahead of themselves sometimes, and because of that, they turn the ball over a lot.
Good point.
So I think he's going to have a lot of turnovers his rookie year too. But right now, if I had to pick someone for the rookie of the year, I would probably say LaMelo. But I'm not like super confident in it or anything.
I would love to
Yeah.
see
What do
Obi
you think about
Toppin
Anthony
win it,
Edwards?
but I'd probably pick LaMelo too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty hype.
What do you think about like Anthony Edwards? Is he gonna be a bust or what?
I don't think he's
I
going to
don't
be
think he'll be a bust.
well, for a first round pick, I could see him being a bust. For like an overall NBA player, I don't think he's going to be like bad or anything. But I don't know, man. I don't know if his drive is there. Like I just don't know if he gives
Agreed.
enough of a crap.
Yeah. I think he's a nice fit alongside D'Lo and Karl Anthony Towns,
definitely.
but
He's perfect.
just
fit
I don't
for
know.
that team.
I question his love for the game. I really do.
He doesn't seem like he's got it, man. He doesn't seem to want it like
I think
a lot
he
of
was
people do.
the right pick at number one. I think it was the right pick at number one.
Yeah.
Just given the fit, because this isn't a draft where you really draft for talent. Unless it's maybe a LaMelo and you just have nothing in your franchise. But the Timberwolves, they have a star in Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. So I think at that point they're trying to compete for the playoffs. So they have the first overall pick, but they're not in a position like the Hornets or
They just
even
desperately
the Cavs,
need
which
someone.
really
Yeah,
have
they aren't in a place
I
where
love
they should be
Colin
taking
Sexton,
risks on like high ceiling, low floor guys like LaMelo.
100%. Exactly.
James Wiseman's weird. I have no idea what to think of him. Like if he's
Neither
bad
do
on
I.
defense, he could legitimately.
It's hard to
like,
make an
barely
impression
get
on
minutes
him
this
when he's
year.
only played 3 games.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
he looked good in those college games. He looked like he could be dominant, at least at the college level. Now, I worry about him at the NBA level.
Yeah, his defense just has been kind of atrocious, though. Like, he needs to become, like, a decent defender.
Yeah, offensively, I think he was good. I think he could be a good back to the basket, even like almost like an Embiid. He's not
That's what I've
too
said,
skinny.
yeah. He could be, like, honestly, like, a similar to Joel Embiid offensively, and then, like, just terrible defense.
And a lot of these guys you see,
he has the tools to be pretty good on defense, though.
He does. It's just if
he does.
He
He has a good
down.
body. That's what I was just about to say. A lot of the guys you see are really, really skinny. A lot of the new sort of centers, they're real skinny. This guy's he's built, bro.
Fun maker.
I mean, he does have a good frame.
He's 7 foot, so
7 feet. You really don't see 7-footers like coming out like that anymore.
Did you guys see the freaking NBA general manager survey of who's the best center in the league?
Oh, man, I'm going to get mad. I don't even want to talk about that, honestly. I don't want to talk about that.
How does Giannis and AD combine for 50% of votes? Neither of them play the center position. What?
It's atrocious.
Did AD not play center in Los Angeles last year?
Okay, Anthony Davis plays center sometimes.
Play center,
okay, he doesn't start at
Just
center, but he plays it sometimes. So if you're going to throw Anthony Davis in there, whatever. Giannis has never played center with any consistency ever. How did he get 7% of the best center votes? What NBA GMs, 7% of NBA GMs think that Giannis is a center? What? They don't know what position the reigning MVP is.
Back-to-back MVP as well.
Confuses me so much, man.
Yeah, Giannis was an almost every. He was in power forward category, best international player category, best center category. It's like, is he a center? Is he power forward? Like, you have
Is
to
he a point
pick
guard?
what position
Mm.
he is. It's like most of us identify him as a power forward. I identify him as a power forward because
Yeah.
he is a power forward. He's a power forward. He plays power forward, point forward, power forward, whatever you want to call him. He
Yeah,
plays the
power
forward
forward's where
position.
he starts. If you look at that team, it just doesn't make sense
Right.
for him to not be listed at power forward. What is Brook
Right.
Lopez then? Was Brook
Somebody
Lopez
told
the
me.
power forward if
Somebody told
Giannis
me
is
they
center?
have Brook Lopez. If they didn't have Brook Lopez, Giannis would play center. How do you know?
Yeah,
How
I
do you
mean,
know
now I
Giannis?
could
No
actually see him
way.
playing center in this league that's continuing toward
Mhm.
small ball, but he definitely isn't at the moment.
Right.
I
Exactly.
think he's too good at passing, and I mean, obviously
I
a
mean,
guy like
basketball's
Jokic is a
becoming
nice passer,
positionless.
but he's too
Mhm.
fast and too athletic to play center.
Right.
Yeah,
I think you put a guy like Brook Lopez alongside him that can shoot. I think that's the way to use him.
he'd be
Mhm.
He's
perfect
won
with
2
Cat
MVPs that
or
way.
Porzingis.
Right.
So I'm really glad he re-signed with the Bucks, so he didn't go to the Mavs because that's where I think he would have gone, and that's
Could you
terrifying.
imagine
I
if
don't
he
know.
went there?
You
Oh
think?
my.
Luca and
Would have
Giannis,
been fun.
terrifying.
Dynasty.
They have had to let Kristaps let go though. Actually, no, because Luca's on his rookie deal still.
No, they wouldn't. Yeah, they had like $40 million in cap space next year.
Oh my.
So,
Yeah, because then they sign Giannis, and then they can use the bird rights on Luca. Then they'd probably go over the cap, but
I mean, well, you're going to be
I mean,
winning
you
a
have
title
two.
every
You have
single
two.
season. So
you're
who
gonna have
knows?
Hall
those
of
guys.
Famer
Yeah,
superstars.
you go over it for that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Shaq and Kobe .2. So
Facts.
ridiculous. So I'm glad that didn't happen. I never thought he was going to go to the Heat. I don't know why everyone said that. Him and Butler and
Heat
Bam
fans are
are not a good
delusional, man.
fit. That just doesn't make any
I
sense.
think they would have. Bam signed that extension. I kind of questioned, honest to the
Right.
Heat. That's when I
They knew they
started to
weren't
question
getting him.
because if they wanted him, they would have had to would have
Not give Bam that money.
because Bam would have been he would have been restricted.
Yeah.
But now he's locked up. So
Which
now
is a
it's
great
like
move.
you'd have to trade Bam. You would have to trade Bam, get off of the contract, like literally trade him for, for either a cheap player and picks and whatever. You can get a decent return, obviously.
Yeah.
But you're not getting that value in terms of a player. You'd have to trade him for the chance to sign Giannis. So it doesn't make any sense. For me, I would have waited. Bam probably just saw everybody, the Tatums, the Mitchells, the Foxes getting extensions, and he's like,
Mhm.
where's my money at,
Let me
Yeah,
get some.
But I mean, basically, and then he probably felt pressured to give it to him. I get it.
I mean,
But
he's a great player. I'd say he's deserving of the contract. So
Mhm.
that was the moment when I knew Giannis would not go to the Heat, though.
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
thought that
I
the
never
Heat
thought he was going there. I thought it was
He
Mavericks
probably
or he
said-
wasn't leaving.
But the Heat are for the culture, man. They had a good season last year, and they're like, why not just keep it the
Let's run it
same? I
back,
get
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis is crazy, but like, I get it.
That I think is the strongest argument about trading for Harden for Hero, because it kind of goes against a lot of your culture of like building up these guys and having everybody being hardworking and stuff.
And bringing in a guy that goes to strip clubs and
Facts.
Clearly doesn't care about his teammates over himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Damn, hour and 10 minutes almost. All right, boys.
That's crazy.
I think
Yeah.
I am ready to be done because my throat's getting sore. All right, boys. Ending final statements you got?
Excited,
Nothing
man. That's
really.
really all I can say. Well,
Yeah,
only time
thanks
will
for-
tell.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
no,
sure.
thanks for coming, boys. It's been great. Maybe we can do another one in like January or something once we've seen
For
a
sure.
little more of the
sure.
Sixers.
Totally
Do a
down.
couple of these throughout the season. Be hype. Definitely be down for that. All right, I'm going to end the recording now.